Welcome, everybody, to week 2 of Inside Wofford Football with head coach Sean Watson, brought to you by Yokohama and Budweiser of Spartanburg. I'm Jim Noble. Hey, before we get going there, Coach, there's a couple of T-shirts I've seen being sported around by players and staff, ART and DTS. What do those initials stand for?
Well, dependable, tough, and smart is DTS, and that's where I really started everything, because we want to be dependable, tough, and smart in every aspect of our life, not just football. It does play a lot to football, but my bigger mission is, about, life. It means going to class, being a student. It means being being a son. It means being a friend. It means being a brother. So, it's all those things that we want our culture here to stand for. And then art is a relentless team, which is something that has to be earned. And, that's what we're set out to do. We've got to become a relentless team. And, those were some things that I picked up along my coaching career that became calling cards. And, throughout the years, look back year 6 and you got it done, and you knew exactly when it happened. So those are life lessons that we're trying to teach on the big picture in life. And then a relentless team is, really, I look at it like this too. It's not only on the football field, but it's around our campus, being good, citizens on our campus, and, being accountable also.
After 2 games on the road, Coach, how nice is it going to be to play on this beautiful field in this beautiful stadium and have the home folks ready for the home opener this Saturday?
It'll be nice. Obviously the guys are looking forward to it. We're third week. You always want to play at home when you get your season started. So it's going to be exciting to get back home, and the kids are always looking forward to it.
And we are too. Coming up on this edition of Inside Wofford Football, we will look back at the second game of the season at William & Mary. We will talk about some of the growing pains on offense that a young team goes through, and we'll preview the home opener as longtime rival Presbyterian comes here to Spartanburg. It's coming up next.
You can always count on the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light, just like you can always count on Always Game Gary. No bar is too far. No wing sauce is too hot. Not for Gary. Gary is the man. He's nothing like Keith. Keith never wants to do anything. Why are we even talking about Keith? Always Game Gary is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back. So for the second straight week, the Terriers had a tough task on the road, this time in Williamsburg, Virginia, against 4th-ranked William & Mary. Coach, you talked to us before the game, the whole week leading up to the game. A very solid, a very experienced team, maybe the most balanced team in all of FCS with returnees, offense, defense, special teams. You guys knew it would be a tough task.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough task. I mean, it was a game I wanted to play, obviously to, get a measure on where we're at as a program, because year one, obviously I think I have some ideas where we're at, and then you go up against a team like that, you really see where you're at. Mike's in his 6th year, and he's done a tremendous job. He's really built a really good program up there. So, we knew it was going to be a physical ball game. They were going to be a physical outfit to play, and I was pleased with, several things that came out of it, and obviously, have a lot of urgency to fix the things that we have to fix, because we have a lot of things to fix.
Yeah, they came out of the gate as advertised. They drove right down the field, 81 yards on their opening touchdown. Threw a few different looks at you. They've got some 2 quarterback sets. They do a lot of different things, direct snaps to their very talented running back. Anything that caught you by surprise?
They had, a couple. They had really 2 new things that they didn't present in any of the film from last year. The last, we usually go the last 5 games of last year, then the one of this year. We always like to do a 6-game breakdown, so it was something that was new, but I thought the defensive staff after that first drive did an excellent job of adjusting, and then defensively played really, got really stingy there.
Yeah, after that opening drive, it was 7-3 after one period. The offense was struggling, and we've talked a little bit about the offensive line. You're dealing with three things on the offensive line right now. You're dealing with youth, you're dealing with injuries, and you had dealt with illness earlier in the season. That all adds up to a lack of consistency. And it's in a perfect world, you've got the same five guys you roll out there every game. That's not what we have right now. Is it moving in that direction moving forward, hopefully?
Yeah, we're going to get some guys off the shelf this week that have been on the shelf. So we've, and it's, Tavion and Quincy, which are two starting tackles. And you brought up a great point because, honestly, in football, that unit has to be together because of the communication, the chemistry that the offensive line has to have. When we started hitting our strides last year, it's because, we kept the same guys in there for from the Sanford game all the way through, and we got better because of it. So we have got to get people back off the shelf, and we're starting to get that, in terms of guys with experience, which will help go a long way.
William & Mary's got a great pass rush. They have a linebacker, Pius, who may end up playing on Sundays. Some other talented All-Americans on defense. I thought, though, about midway through the second quarter, you started to get the running game rolling along, and it was just straight ahead. It wasn't anything fancy. Was there a philosophical decision to say, hey, let's just run right at him for a while?
Well, we, right now, because of we're dealing with, things that young players can do, guys without experience. So that was part of it because that's what they know, and that's how we grow them to begin with. And then we put some gap schemes in that help them out. And those things helped us out, So I thought, overall, though, I really felt like Anthony Garcia played a really good game for us. He captains all of our calls. He did a great job of that, but he did against Pitt. Now, what he did and the two guards, they did a really good job of working together. And so we had some opportunities that we didn't have in the Pitt game. And, now we just have to get those two tackles back and move forward.
Yeah, those opportunities resulted in 2 Bridger Jones field goals. That was all the Wofford scoring in the first half. It was 20-6 William & Mary at halftime. We'll take a look at half number 2 coming up next here on Inside Wofford Football.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football. I'm Jim Noble with head coach Sean Watson. So 20-6 at halftime, but in the third quarter last Saturday night, the running game, as we said, started to roll. The offensive line really got a push on the defensive line of William & Mary. Ryan Ingram, Kyle Parsons, they really started to move the football well.
Yeah, those guys find yards. Ryan's a physical, a very physical runner, and I thought he ran physical all night long. Did a really good job for us, and Kyle was the Kyle we had last year. He's back healthy off of a hamstring that he had during spring, and you can just see his confidence beginning to grow because he's healthy. So I really like, he was excellent in the return game also, but both those guys did a really good job getting the ball north and south. And then the young kid came in at the end, to give him some experience. JT did an excellent job of finding yards too.
If you take the sack yardage out of the stats, Wofford actually averaged about 4.5 yards per carry. Ryan Ingram had 55 of those yards. Tom Henson caught up with Ryan after the game.
Tom Henson here with Ryan Ingram, and Ryan, not the results you guys wanted tonight, but you guys had some drives, and you were doing a lot of good stuff between the tackles. What was your O-line doing so effectively tonight?
They was getting a good push off the ball. I felt like, we didn't get the results we wanted, but they did improve, so that's a start, and we just keep on improving.
First 2 weeks, you've gone up against Pitt, one of the better teams in the ACC. William & Mary, a team that's top 5, could easily win the SoCon. That's really going to help you guys when you get further down the line and get into conference play, right?
Yes, sir. I feel like these 2 opponents are just going to make it better for us going forward. We just faced 2 tough opponents, so everything's just going to work its way out.
Now a chance to play at home back in Spartanburg and Gibbs Stadium. I know that means a lot for you guys to get back there playing in front of the fans and the students at Wofford.
Yes, sir. It means a lot. We can't lose at home. Can't lose.
Brian, appreciate your time. Good luck in prepping for this week.
Thank you.
Of course, all during this time, the defense was really hitting their stride, holding William and Mary to only 3 points in the second half. Actually, the 23 points that William and Mary wound up with, Coach, their third lowest point total in their last 2 seasons. That is certainly something you can build off of.
Yeah, it is. I've said it from the beginning. Our defense, they're really playing well. We've got a good package we installed back in the spring. I wanted to go a different direction with the defense, and we've done that. Andrew and Jonathan have put together an excellent package, and they've got the kids playing at a high level because I thought the thing that we did best, and you take out the first drive, they settled down, they played really good football, and we pursued to the football. My challenge to them was get 11 hats on the football, and by and large, we got 11 hats on the football. They did a great job pursuing the ball and getting the ball down.
It's funny, I had circled guys like Maximus Pulley and Jalen Marshall. You had talked about John Michael DiRoberto, the safeties, especially being one of them. I thought the pursuit down the defensive line, Brandon Mena and company, I think C.J. Tillman was another one. Every time I looked, they were running 10, 15, 20 yards to the perimeter and either making tackles or helping out on tackles. That's exactly the effort I assume you're looking for.
It is. Brandon and CJ have played 2 really back-to-back really big games for us. They played really well. Chucky, had to sit out the first half because of a targeting. Came in the second half and probably played his best football since he's been here. That's his best half. So those 3 guys combined did an excellent job. When you sit back and look at the tape, and then, like you said, our 2 safeties were awesome because they were a big part of the pursuit, and they had to make a lot of open field hits, get the first hit, and then the pursuit thereafter was great.
And to wrap it up, the only points, of course, in the second half were a field goal by William and Mary, so the defense stood out. The offensive, as we talked about, I thought if you could avoided some penalties at some crucial times, you would have had a better opportunity to put more points on the boards, but that's probably on your fixable item list, I would imagine.
It is. We've got, again, those penalties were younger players that are out there for the first time, and the big thing we've got to do, because we always assume responsibility first as a staff, we got to coach our younger guys, and out of it is going to come, like I know this to be true about the business. In the midst of adversity, those younger players have had to play. As they gain confidence, older guys get to go back in now. They're going to have to step back up and make plays for us because they've played. They'll have a calmer mind and have a better feel for the game. So we just keep working.
Yep, 8 offensive linemen for Wofford in the first 2 games. That's not ideal, but as Coach said, hopefully Quincy Hughes, Tavian Gass come back at the tackle positions for the home opener against Presbyterian. That's where we'll go. Coming up next, we will talk about the Blue Hose at a very long South Carolina in-state rivalry. Coming up next.
Black and gold. Bold. A victory story about to be told. Grit, toughness, and tenacity. A hub of hard work in Hub City. We're on these wins like dogs on a bone. In the zone. Our place, in your face, won't leave you alone. Strength, speed, fire, true. I'm sorry, do these things trouble you? We're Wofford College. We fly the W. Ingalls, proud partner of the Wofford Terriers.
Nothing beats the power of Ford Truck Month, because only one truck can be the best-selling in America for 46 straight years. Ford F-Series. Only one has best-in-class payload, best-in-class horsepower, and when you combine this legendary power with the latest technology, you get the only truck built Ford tough. It's Truck Month. Hurry in today for great selection in stock and ready for delivery. For great offers on a new Ford F-150, see your Carolina Ford dealer or visit buyfordnow.com today.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football with Sean Watson, brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. So Saturday night, 6 p.m. on this field behind us here at Gibbs Stadium, Mike Ayers Field, the Blue Hose of Presbyterian come to Spartanburg. It is the 86th meeting between these 2 teams. No, Coach and I were not around for all of those meetings, but it's in-state. It means something, and you guys, as we said, going to be glad to play at home in front of their their co-students, their friends, their family. But for a change, Wofford will be a favorite in this game. How do you deal with that in terms of teams not getting complacent with a non-scholarship Pioneer League team coming to town?
Well, our players know me. It starts with that. And, I've made it about us from the very beginning because we're a football team that has to improve and has to improve vastly in certain areas to get ready for our conference season. So it's about us, and it's about us executing. And that's no disrespect at all to PC because they're well coached. They've got good schemes on both sides of the ball. And I'm sure, the rivalry, it's a game where there's a rivalry. They've been, it was one of the, like you said, 86 years is a long time. And, we have great respect for all those things. And right now where we're as a program, honestly, it's about us getting better and about us taking care of us.
Mm-hmm. How excited are you to not have to get on a bus for a while or an airplane and be able to roll down the street and coach a game?
Well, it's going to feel good to be at home. I mean, we always want to play home, and we have a 3-game winning streak here at home that ended last year. We've made that a big part of our program. We want to protect our home turf, and we want to make that something moving forward that is part of our culture, part of our tradition is winning at home. So no matter who it is, it's win at home.
Well, we'd love to see you out here at Gibbs Stadium. It's going to be fantastic weather, we think, fingers crossed, and hopefully a big crowd for the home opener. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen out here on Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and a big thanks to our staff here at Video Services and Sports Information at Wofford. For Coach Sean Watson, I'm Jim Noble, and we will see you next time on Inside Wofford Football.